if it had. Dudley, I've known you several years, American Legion mainly, and of course you've been here most of your life in this town, I guess. And I didn't come along until 1958 when I moved here, but you were in World War II, and so we just want to visit a little bit and pick up a little bit of where you were at and so forth. What branch of the service were you in?
Navy.
The Navy. And what do you remember the date that you went into the service?
It was in August. I don't know the exact date. No. It was, that's when I was sworn in. I was sworn in Kansas City at the federal building.
All right. What year was that?
43.
1943, in August. All right. Now you said you were in Kansas City, and where did they send you for your first training?
We went out to Idaho. Can't even think of the name of that.
You know, it was surprising that way out in Idaho they have a big training facility. And just 3 years ago, I went out and to visit my son. He worked some tours, and I went on a tour, and we went by where there was a big naval training facility during World War II.
That's where it was.
And and one of my cousins that was in the Navy in World War II, he trained up in Idaho too. So it's odd to think of being such a land-enclosed state that they'd have a big naval facility.
Well, that was Ms. Roosevelt's idea. She liked it, the country up in there. It was the Lake Palmyra, they called it. That's where they had a big body of water there, and that's where we did all our rowing and things of that sort. And after different things that you just...
Was that, now, I was in the Air Force and took basic training.
Farragut, Idaho.
Yeah, now, Farragut, sure.
I knew it would come around to it.
The training you took there, I guess in the Navy, you call that boot camp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That was just a sort of a general training that all personnel got?
They got your attention, and you
Taught you not to talk back?
They built you up physically, and straightened you out mentally. I guess that's what you want to call it.
Well, how does that go? There's the right way, the wrong way, and the Navy way?
Yeah, that's the way it goes. That's everything else is that way too. I went through hospital corps school there too.
Okay, and that's what you went into?
Yeah.
Northland?
Okay. Yeah.
And you took that training right there at Farragut?
Yeah. Went through the school there.
Where did you go after you left Farragut?
I went to Fort Worth, Virginia, Naval Hospital there at Fort Worth, Virginia, and I stayed there about 8 or 9 months. And I was working in the hospital at first, but then after a while, I came where I was working, then report up to the office, and I had going to be changed, and so I started driving ambulances and buses and stuff like that, and we got around all over that area pretty good. Used to go on they call it a lead bank. We go to different posts around and see down in that area there's hundreds of boats of all kinds, Navy, Marine, everything. And then we'd go this here today and there's a farm, and that was interesting.
Ain't no rivalry between the Navy and the Marines?
No,
Were they pretty friendly towards each other?
well, it depends. It depends on whether, if you've ever been in combat with the Marines, or whether there's a couple of boots together or something like that, they're smart alecs. But if a person's been in combat, and see, the Navy furnished the Marine Corps with their medical men, and the old boys, they really looked up to you, because when they hollered corpsman, he wanted a corpsman, so, but they did, we didn't, like, we didn't eat and everything like that with the higher, old master sergeants and things like that. We didn't eat with the regular. I spent a little, about
The NCOs.
2 or 3, yeah, 2 or 3. I spent about 2 or 3 months with the Marines, in and out. It was interesting. They were good to me. That's the difference. You don't have any problem with it if you're a corpsman and somebody been in combat. Hey, you're God,
So, where and when did you leave
I left
Virginia?
let's see, December, I guess it was, of 43. No, 44, yeah. Then I went from there to Providence, Rhode Island. And we were on, we were training to go aboard ship. We were putting a hospital ship in commission, a new one. And we stayed there for a while. We thought the ship never was going to get done so quickly. Get away from up there, but it finally did. Then I caught the ship at the Navy Yard, USS Haven. And then we went down through the Panama Canal, on around out into the Pacific. San Francisco was our one port in the United States. So in the Pacific, it was Pearl Harbor did most of the time. And then we went on, just the things going on out there, all the fleets for a while. Way back, we ran in full light through the night, and the Red Cross was right square in the middle of the ship. I mean, just except they wanted to shoot, they had a good target. But I told my wife a lot of times since then, I believe if I'd just stayed there another year in the service, I stayed there because I liked it up there, the ship out there on the ocean. Except when you get in, like you're talking about that storm, turned you in, I guess that's one I was in too.
Well, everybody that I've talked to, I had a cousin that was in one of those big landing boats that the whole frame would open up.
Yeah.
And
that's deep.
he was telling me about that storm. And Herb that I worked with, Burwinkle, he's told me about that storm. In fact, every time I'd say to him, boy, we had a big storm last night, he'd say, you don't know what a storm is.
You're right.
And so everybody, it must have really impressed people. I know Merle Sternke was a pilot of a B-24, and he was telling about how terrible it tore up those planes where he was down in Saipan. And then I guess the war was over, and course, and so he was the first one to fly out of Saipan after they got their plane repaired. They flew back to the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, they sent us out. We were sitting in Buckner Bay in Okinawa, and they sent us out one direction, said you'll miss the storm, the worst part of it. And so we took off in their direction, and we went right square into it. We rode it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, or something like that, nights. Have you ever watched a little piece of wood, like when you were a kid and the wind was blowing and you threw it out on a pond or something like that, and that poor little stick of wood and just go everywhere. You come up on it, go back. Well, that great big ship would come clear up on both fore and aft out of the water, even the screws. Shake the ship all over. And then the bottom would drop out, and you'd be down here, way down there. Oh, you can't imagine that great big old ship off to the ramp. Now there's some LSTs, like you talked about earlier. They were following us, or with us, not really following us. They were just trying to stay afloat too. But I'll see how they stay afloat, because they didn't even draw but 3 feet of water. And they were flat bottom things, and those poor assholes, I don't see how they stood it at all. But that was a big thing. But we came in San Francisco one time. It was about as rough as that though. San Francisco was all part of it's rough water all the way to about the first or last day out. When you come in about a day, it's rough water.
It's rough going out too. I got on a Liberty ship when I went out and went north up towards Alaska, and but I can remember it's pretty rough for a little while.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, it's pretty rough water. Then I went from there. Of course, we were sitting in Okinawa. We were ready to go into Japan. Getting ready to all the ships everywhere, people everywhere, and but they sent us to Nagasaki, Japan, where we freed all of the prisoners of war on that island. We were there 30 days, and that was interesting. It was a terrible thing, I'll tell you that. You can't imagine, and I've never seen it on any news broadcast or anything like that. They made those little 2-man submarines there. That's what they made, and they had these metal buildings